A firm handshake used to just mean confidence, maybe good manners passed down from a parent, the kind of small detail nobody ever thought to question or measure. Nobody thought twice about it beyond that. Then researchers tracking almost 140,000 people across 17 countries found something that genuinely surprised the cardiology world. That simple squeeze of the hand turned out to be one of the most reliable predictors of a heart attack, a stroke, or early death that medicine currently has.
And in some ways, it outperforms tools doctors have relied on for decades. Here's the study that changed things. The prospective urban-rural epidemiology study, known as PURE, followed nearly 140,000 people, different backgrounds, incomes, and healthcare systems.
Researchers measured grip strength using a simple handheld device, and then tracked outcomes over years. What they found was almost hard to believe at first. Grip strength predicted cardiovascular death, heart attack, and stroke, as well as systolic bloodlist risk markers in all of medicine, and it predicted all-cause mortality even better. Let that sit for a second, because it's worth genuinely absorbing rather than skimming past. A cheap, 30-second test that requires no needles, no fasting, and no lab wait time is performed on par with or better than blood pressure, one of the cornerstones of cardiovascular risk assessment for the last century. The specific numbers are worth knowing, because they're not vague or hand-wavy the way some health statistics tend to be. For every 5-kilogram drop in grip strength, roughly 11 pounds, researchers found a 16% higher risk of death specifically from cardiovascular disease, a 9% higher risk of stroke, and a 7% higher risk of heart attack. This wasn't a small, single-country study either. This finding actually deserves.
A later meta-analysis, pooling data from 42 studies and over 3 million participants, confirmed the same pattern.
Weaker grip strength is consistently associated with higher cardiovascular risk, independent of most other factors researchers could account for. So why would something as simple as hand strength predict heart health this reliably? The honest answer is that grip strength isn't really about the hand at all. It's a window into overall muscle strength and function throughout the entire body. Turns out to be deeply intertwined with cardiovascular health in ways that aren't always obvious. Weaker overall muscle strength is associated with more inflammation circulating in the body, reduced blood flow efficiency,
and a heart that's simply working under different conditions than one supported by stronger, more metabolically active muscle tissue.
Grip strength happens to be the easiest, most standardized way to measure that broader muscle strength, in a matter of seconds. Here's a detail that makes this even more interesting for anyone over 60 specifically. Following more than 500,000 participants, found that adding grip strength to standard risk calculators, the kind that already factor in age, blood pressure, smoking status, and cholesterol, meaningfully improved how accurately those calculators predicted future cardiovascular events.
This isn't only a Western phenomenon either, which matters for how seriously this research should be taken. A separate study, specifically looking at adults with hypertension in China, found that the combination of high blood pressure and low grip strength together carried the highest risk of cardiovascular incidence and mortality, higher than either factor alone. That kind of consistency, the same pattern showing up across completely different populations, healthcare systems, and study designs, is exactly what makes researchers confident this isn't a statistical fluke specific to one country or one dataset. Here's a practical detail worth knowing too. Grip strength research doesn't stop matching with age. In fact, the predictive value seems to hold up consistently across older age groups specifically, which matters because plenty of health metrics become less reliable predictors later in life. Grip strength isn't one of them. If anything, the gap in outcomes between strong and weak grip becomes more pronounced with age rather than less, making this exactly the kind of measurement worth paying attention to well into the decades, where cardiovascular risk naturally climbs regardless. Now, an obvious question. What actually counts as a concerning grip strength? And how would someone even know theirs without special equipment? Clinical research typically defines weak grip strength as below roughly 57 pounds for men and 35 pounds for women. though the exact cutoffs vary somewhat between studies and tend to be adjusted for age. The honest, practical answer for anyone at home is this. A dynamometer, the small handheld device used in these studies, is inexpensive and available online, and many physical therapy offices or gyms have one available to test within under a minute. Beyond a specific number, though, a simpler, more practical marker most people can notice without any device at all is this. Everyday grip tasks becoming noticeably harder over time, struggling more than before to open a stubborn jar, tightly gripping a railing on stairs out of genuine necessity rather than habit, or a handshake that's grown visibly weaker compared to a few years earlier. These real-world changes often show up well before someone ever picks up a formal measuring device. Here's the genuinely encouraging part of all this research, because a predictor is only useful if something can actually be done about it. Unlike some cardiovascular risk factors that feel largely outside anyone's control, grip strength and the muscle mass behind it respond directly and measurably to resistance exercise. Research consistently shows that regular strength training, even starting later in life, meaningfully improves grip strength and overall muscle function, and by extension, appears to improve the same cardiovascular outcomes this research is measuring. This doesn't require a gym membership or heavy weights. Simple resistance activities, using light hand weights, resistance bands, or even bodyweight exercises like wall push-ups, performed consistently a few times a week, have been shown to improve grip and overall strength meaningfully over a matter of months, not years. For anyone who hasn't done any kind of strength training before, starting light and increasing gradually, ideally with guidance from a doctor or physical therapist first, especially if there's an existing heart condition, is the safest way to begin. There's a practical reason grip strength specifically responds so well to this kind of training, beyond just the muscles in the hand itself. Grip involves dozens of small and large muscles working together across the hand, forearm, and even upper arm, which means activities that engage the whole arm, carrying groceries with a firm hold, gardening tasks that involve gripping tools, or simply squeezing a stress ball repeatedly through the day, all contribute meaningfully. This is exactly why grip strength tends to respond faster to lifestyle changes than some other health markers that take years to shift, since it's engaging a wide, easily trainable muscle group rather than something more isolated. It's worth being clear about limits here, too, since a single measurement shouldn't be treated as a verdict. Grip strength varies naturally by sex, age, height, and even hand dominance, which is exactly why researchers compare people against population-adjusted thresholds rather than one universal number. A gradual decline noticed over months, or a number that sits well below what's typical for a similar age and build, matters far more than a single one-time reading compared against an arbitrary target. Context, and especially change over time, is what turns a number into something actually useful. If research like this, the kind that quietly connects something completely ordinary to something significant, is useful to see broken down clearly. Subscribing means catching the next one automatically, and there's one coming up that looks at a daily habit almost everyone assumes is harmless. Here's something worth actually testing rather than just reading about. Try squeezing a hand into a fist as tightly as possible right now. Or notice how a jar lid felt the last time one needed opening. Genuinely harder than it used to be, easier about the same? That's worth typing into the comments, because it's exactly the kind of small, honest observation that might be worth mentioning at the next doctor's visit, especially paired with everything covered here. And if this connected something unexpected, that a simple handshake carries real research-backed information about heart health, sharing it with a parent or older family member could be the reason they bring it up at their next appointment instead of never thinking about it at all. There's one final point worth remembering before wrapping up, because it reframes everything covered here into something genuinely useful rather than just a fascinating statistic. Most cardiovascular risk factors, blood pressure, cholesterol, family history, either can't be changed at all or take months of consistent effort before any real shift shows up on a test. Grip strength is unusual in that it's both a meaningful predictor and something that responds relatively quickly to simple, low-cost effort. That combination, a genuine warning sign paired with a genuinely accessible fix, is exactly why this research has generated so much attention in cardiology circles, and exactly why it's worth more than a passing glance, especially for anyone who assumed strength training was only about looking a certain way rather than something tied directly to how long and how well the heart keeps working.